Hello, you wonderful, wonderful West Ham fans. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. Welcome to my daily ramble. As always, before we do get started, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and drop a like on the video because it does really help us. Now, a bit of a marathon show this is going to be for you because it's two shows in one. So at the end of this ramble, there's going to be a video. It's around about 30 minutes on a tortuous journey I'm about to put myself through. But a necessary journey, I think. So you can all watch that or don't watch it, whatever else, and tell me how mad I am, or you might be interested and you might want to come over and join me. Any moral support would be greatly appreciated because it's quite nerve-wracking. But I'll leave that to the end anyway. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Before we get into that, as we know, look, we've got Leverkusen on Thursday, so this is going to be the last time that I talk about David Moyes in a negative fashion until Thursday. You know, beyond that, this week, I'm going to do my best to be motivational and everything else. In fact, I might give a rallying cry in this one at the end. But look, loads of news has broken again this year. Now, you know that we've covered in depth on this programme, on this channel, the negative aspects of this season. The fact that we've been lucky, the fact that we are not where we probably should be if you look at the statistics. Well, the stats are just getting worse. They're getting worse and worse. We're now second from bottom in terms of allowing the opposition to have touches in our box. We are. We've conceded the most penalties, 10. That's a lot. And this has been covered on other channels as well, but there's more. There's more stats. We still create, I think it's like the third least chances in the league. Now, our goal scoring isn't bad because we've got such fantastic forward players. But this style of play, the way that we're playing, I don't really know what David Moyes is trying to achieve because I don't believe, I don't rate David Moyes in the slightest. I genuinely don't. I don't. I think he's good for a purpose. He was the right man at the time when he came in. You need a sergeant major to come in, blow a whistle, get your players fit. That's David Moyes' job. Then you move him on because there's no projects happening with David Moyes. Look at the result of the project. We've got the oldest squad and we've got the smallest squad. There needs to be completely rebuilt. We've got a completely stifled, overwhelmingly talented youth team, which I'll talk about first. Because you'll hear some people like Sean Whetstone that will come out and other people that will say, well, look at the amount of debuts that he's given players and this and that, the other. Well, do you know what the actual truth is? Because we've had David Moyes himself coming out saying something similar in an interview, saying that, well, it used to be about 18, but now it's not. Players, you can't really consider players ready now until they're around about 21. Right, okay. Fair enough. So this table represents minutes that teenagers have played for Premier League teams this season. Now, at the top, you've got Brighton. 4,971 collective minutes from teenage players this season in the league. Second, you've got Man United on 3,400. Third, you've got Burnley on 2,500. Fourth, you've got Newcastle on 1,450. Fifth, you've got Bournemouth on 857. Sixth, you've got Man City on 606. Do you know how many minutes David Moyes has given our teenagers this season? Do you know? In the Premier League? We're 15th in the league. He's given 74 collective minutes. That's what he's done. That is for a man that has the smallest squad in the league as well. The smallest squad. Never calls on the youth. Got no interest in it. None. None whatsoever. He's got no interest in entertaining the fans. And I know that we've got an element of our fan base now that just don't care. I can throw these stats at them. They don't care. Because it's almost like they're not the same as they once were. And I'm going to talk about some managers now that were before my time. But this kind of legacy lived on through into my entire lifespan watching West Ham. We are a team for the working classes. We are a team that try and do things a little bit differently. It isn't all about winning. It's about entertaining. It's about being a bit chaotic, being fun. That's what West Ham were. That's what we were. And we've gone out and got the polar opposite of fun. We've gone and got some beige paint in David Moyes. That's what we've got. He does not care. It's not in his mandate to entertain. It's not in Sullivan's interest, I don't really believe, to entertain. I think he knows that is what the West Ham fan base crave. But for whatever reason, all the man cares about is just maintaining his presence in the Premier League, and that is it. That is it. And we're never going to be happy in that case. We're never going to be happy long term with a manager like David Moyes. Yes, there will be fans that are. Yes, there will be fans that are scratching their head, going, "You don't know what you're talking about. We're 7th in the league, 3 years in Europe," because that's all they see. These are fans that don't give a fuck about football. All they care about are bragging rights. That's it. Teletext fans. They only care about the fucking... I wish I didn't care about the football at present. I wish that all I did was just check the result after the game and go, "Oh, look, 2-1. We won. Brilliant. Hey!" And then I jump onto some YouTube channels and go, "What are you moaning for? We've just won. Fuck's sake. What are you moaning for?" It's absolutely embarrassing, to be quite honest. The style of football that we play with the players that we've got is embarrassing. The style of football is embarrassing in itself. The only thing that gives us any credibility or credence at all are these magicians that we've got that give us these moments in games. That's it. Nothing that you see from West Ham is from the coaching. Is from coaching. It's not from the training ground. You'll never see a goal and think that is from the training ground. Never. You don't see it. You'll see brilliance. I've said it on the show the other night. You'll see Paqueta bring a ball down, play a ball inside to Bowen, who's dropped back, little 1-2, and then they'll drop the ball over the top. Kudus will control it, and then in one motion turn it in the top corner. That is not off of the training ground. It's honestly, the only thing that's off the training ground is James Ward-Prowse sticking the corner in, not into the goal, by the way, but sticking the corner in. That's one of the main things that we focus on. That was why we brought James Ward-Prowse in. This was the game plan for this season. It's statue football, deep defensive block, make us hard to play through, kill any semblance of football being played by either team on the pitch, and just go and try and win it, because winning is all that matters. Entertaining the fans does not matter. Entertaining 65,000 fans inside a stadium, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's just a result that matters. Well, do you know what? A couple of quotes. And this was kind of brought to my attention by a gentleman called Mo, who phoned in quite a few times. He spoke about sort of his mental health issues and stuff like that. But he sent me through quite a profound voice note earlier on. And I'm going to take some snippets from quotes of our legendary managers. Legendary. The likes of Ron Greenwood and John Lyall. Not David Moyes. He will never be mentioned in the same breath. He won't. Not when you're really talking about legendary. Ron Greenwood said, "Entertaining football is a thing of chance. And I never saw the game as anything else. We made friends because we were different. Sometimes we were made to feel we were the last of a dying breed. We didn't win the championship, but oh yes, there were compensations." John Lyall, his successor, said, "I do see a lot of coaches today writing things down on the sidelines, and I do understand why they do it. But I was always taught to look at everything that was going on all the time and never take my eyes off of what was happening on the field." And then he says, "I think that in our time, the technical side of the game had far more credibility than it does now. People used to say to me at times that I overcoached. But is there such a thing? People might ask why I used to stop kind of a particular training session 8 times because a player, he kept on making a mistake. But I believed in doing it over and over and over again until we got it right. And if it got too embarrassing for a player, I'd ask him to come back after the others had gone inside to get changed so that we could go through it again." Because he says, how can people call themselves coaches when they're only on the training field for 10 minutes? And do you know what? I completely agree. I do completely agree. And I know that David Moyes, I can't criticise him and say that he's not on the training field for 10 minutes, but the man doesn't coach. This was different. If you're talking about John Lyall, you're talking about something completely different. They had the same ethos. This was our legacy. That was West Ham. And that is what we're going to go back to. And that is what people will see when David Moyes does move on. Because although I've said what I've said about Sullivan, the next manager will be of a different type because Tim Steidten will be appointing him and we will go back to that. We will get entertaining football back. Yes, we fucking will. And we're not just going to win, we're going to enjoy ourselves while we're doing it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic. We're going to have Mavericks. It's going to be good again. We're getting our West Ham back. And no, that is not a dog shit, by the way. I've just noticed that. That is a buffalo horn. We're going to get our West Ham back. 100% we are. I'm convinced of it. So the sooner this season is over and done with, and I mean it, I've been saying it now for months because I can't tolerate the football. The sooner it's over and done with, the better. I can't stand the football. I love West Ham, but I also love football. David Moyes is a murderer of football. He kills it. Kills it stone dead. You know? We all saw his pre-match press conference before the game, before the recent game. You know, where he was playing down a 7-goal thriller and likening it. He was making a comparison to that of a 0-0 draw. Well, all games in the Premier League are fun, you know. I like the really good kind of defensive sides of the game as well. He's just so, you can't compare the two. You can have an appreciation of defensive football, but you can't compare a 0-0 with a 7-goal thriller, Dave. No, you can't. Two teams going at it, trying to win the game for 90 minutes. I know, mind blown, mental, isn't it? Crazy. So, what I would like to say to the players in this as well, and I would, they're not watching this, but if by some chance they were, make yourself heroes. Honestly, with or without David Moyes, we've got the ability in that team to go out and hurt any opposition, including Leverkusen on Thursday, including Leverkusen. I know that, you know, for selfish reasons, even if you're not happy at the club and this, that, the other, you might be playing for yourselves. You ain't going to get dropped. He can't drop you. He ain't got no one on the fucking bench. Get together. Honestly, go out and entertain and have some fun for the last few games of the season. Just fucking do it. Just do it. Have fun. You will win games. You'll score goals. You'll go down as legends of West Ham. Proper legends. You will. Because this is a money end of the season where we always fall off. We always fall off at this stage. We can't this year because it's there for us to take it. Again, we should be looking at 6th or 5th with the way that teams have been underperforming this season. But we've been underperforming in 2024 as well. We've won 3 games in 2024. It's not good enough. I know that other teams have been underperforming as well, but this is what I'm saying. Other teams have had half their team missing with injury. We have not. We haven't. So fuck me. Just go out against Leverkusen. Cause a few surprises. Be a massive surprise. What have you got to lose? They haven't fucking lost a game all year. Go out there. Go at them. The German League shit. Treat it like that. You're better than them. Go out there. Take them on. They haven't got a front three like what we've got. They have not got that. They ain't got a player with the class of Paqueta. I know you're going to talk about Florian Wirtz. Well, do you know what? A lot of these players in that Alonso team, and I'm going to say it now, Alonso is a supreme coach. A supreme coach. We saw it with Brighton, didn't we? When you had certain players that left Brighton, who was a geezer with a frizzy hair that went to Chelsea, turned a bit shit. It happens a lot. Because players that play for teams that are such an amazing machine, they're not necessarily the individuals that you think that they are. They may flourish in that system, but then you take them out. For instance, you take Florian Wirtz out and drop him in our team, he probably wouldn't be the same player. You take Frimpong out and put him in our team, probably wouldn't be the same player. The difference is, Alonso has now created a team with a squad value worth more than ours, and they've spent fuck all. Why has that happened? Because he's coached this team and he's coached these players where their values have just flown through the fucking roof. That's all it is. They haven't bought these players in. They've created players. They've created them. David Moyes has no interest in creating players. He wants to go and buy ready-made fucking donkeys. He does. I'm not going to talk about our existing ones. You know they are. But he wanted to add to that list with Maguire and McTominay. 2 more nailed-on flops if we'd have got them. They would have been. Completely underwhelming. If they're struggling, if Maguire's struggling and making fuck-ups at Man United, good luck in our low block, mate. When you're in the Alamo for 90 minutes, oh, look, he never does make an appearance that fun. But, yeah, so the point of this ramble is why have fans changed? Why have people's appreciation and understanding of football, why has it changed so much? Because the game is the same. It's still 22 men on a football pitch with fucking 4 corner flags and 2 goals with the aim to go out, play football, have fun and win the game. It hasn't changed that much. It hasn't changed at all. You've got VAR now ruining the fucking thing. But in terms of the men that are on the pitch, 2 teams going at each other, what's changed? Why have the fans, why have we become a product of the Premier League where entertainment means fuck all and it's just about the result? Why do we worry about the business side of it? We're not making money out of it. We're paying for it. Not us directly. We had one of the cheapest fucking tickets in the league, but that's all going to change because it's going up next season. So we're going to start paying for it as well. If you look at Tottenham, you can't get a season ticket there for less than £2,000. It's going to be the same as us in a few years. You watch. They're going to keep creeping up. We're paying for this. We're paying into this machine. And as Nigel Khan said on his show, on his More Than Just a Podcast show the other day, no one asked us if we wanted this. They didn't. As the standard of player improved and this, that, and the other, that we're getting into the Premier League, well, yeah, but I mean, are you enjoying it anymore? Are you enjoying football now more than when you was watching that fucking genius behind me? Are you enjoying it any more than that? Are you? Because I'm not. I'm still loving the players that we're getting, the genius players. I love Payet, Tevez, Paqueta, Kudus. They're great, but we've always got those players. We've always had them. We've always attracted players like that. This is no different. So fundamentally, why are fans now so different? What? I don't understand why fans actually even want to go to a game and not watch a game of football. I will never understand it. I can't understand it. I can't make myself understand why that is fine. That's fine. Don't matter about the football. It's just the result that matters. That's what people's argument is. What the fuck? But look, anyway, that is it from me, right? So I've put you through enough, and now I'm gonna leave you with a video with myself, Jay from the Support Network, and a lovely gentleman called Nick. Great name. And they're going to talk about the torturous journey I'm about to put myself through. All right? I'll speak to you all soon. Get with your heads. Hello, everyone. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. You know that because you've just been watching the show. Right, I did say at the start of the show that we was going to give you a bit of an insight into this new journey that I'm going to be going on myself, because as you all know, the one stick that Mickey can beat me with is that I'm a fat you-know-what. So I'm trying to sort myself out. Now, Jay, the man that you've all come to know on this platform, he told his story a little while ago. He's been integral in the support platform that we've built, and the only reason it's kind of a success is because of all the people that have magically just pulled together. It's not happened on purpose. It's just been through. I don't know what's happened. I mean, we couldn't have recruited a better bunch of people than what we've got here. It's amazing what's happened there. But as well as sort of helping people, being a cancer coach and doing all these other bits and pieces that Jay does, he's also a qualified fitness trainer, personal fitness trainer as well. And he runs 4 fasts a year. So I am going to put myself through a 10-day fast, a very extreme fast by the sound of it. I'm quite nervous, but I'm looking forward to it because I've tried so many times, especially since COVID. Look, I used to be fit once upon a time. I put on weight slowly over time, lost it, put it on, lost it. COVID happened. I became a fat bastard, never lost it. And I kind of, it's happened ever since. So I need a kickstart. So I'm hoping that this gives me the kickstart that I need. Jay, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. And for the record, I've got to call him Nicolas because I've got the other way. We've got a Nicolas and we've got Nick who's coming on. So for today's purposes, he's Nicolas. Yeah. So anyway, just to give a very quick, before I do, one of the things I want to mention and say thank you to, obviously, our Nick for is the opportunity to come on this platform and work, because I love what I do, and it's given me the opportunity to reach out to more of my own, which is what West Ham has always been to me. It's been a massive part of growing up. We've all touched on this before, and that's what has made this support group so special. And as a lot of you, and shout out to everyone in the support group, everyone, all the admin, everyone, you've all been a vital part of it growing to what me and Nick were talking about before. It's just amazing. And long story short, what I'd like to do now is start bringing over my full practice into the support network. And what we want to do is this channel is only going to grow. This platform is only going to grow with with a little bit of investment from all of us. I am a paying subscriber, and I said to Nick when I first went on his show, like, this has been the best £5 a month I've ever paid because of what's come of it. And what I'd like to do to help, because Nick and the boys, they are not doing this for money. Nick, give me the breakdown of how this works, and it's definitely not for moolah, which is why they've got carry on doing their full-time jobs as well.
We won't be retiring anytime soon, James.
So the little bit of investment, it does count. And, you know, £5, and I say this, people, from a place of love, £5 these days, for those of you that work in the city or even out on the outskirts, it wouldn't get you a pint. It would probably just about get you a coffee these days. And what I'd like to incentivize people to join Claret and Booze is if you subscribe as a member, you get, by the way, all the mental health support courses will always be free. That's not going to change. The stuff that I'm doing, the Tuesday nights, this week we're starting with the women as well. Shout out to lovely Hammerettes. We'll be starting that course with you as well. That's always going to be free, because Nick emphasized from the beginning that mental health support has to be free the whole time. And I'd already bought into that, absolutely. What we want to do, though, is actually bring some of the other bits and pieces that I do. And I'm sure there's going to be other people that can offer amazing stuff as well, and maybe we'll follow suit. All of my practice outside of what you've currently experienced, I'm going to offer 50% off of all of my stuff if you're a Claret and Booze member of just paying £5 a month. And in this case, we're going to talk about the fast. And I'll quickly give you a bit of information about fasting, and then we'll get into it. So I initially got into fasting to support the work I do with people with cancer, because it came to light as part of my studying at the time of how the body actually deals with cancer, that when you stop eating, okay, what it does, and of course, we're not talking about stop eating for 5 minutes, half an hour, or even a day. There has to be, in fact, 3 days is what you really need to hit to get the change that I'm about to explain. So the way the human stomach is designed, we're not supposed to eat every day. That's why your stomach can really shrink down and really expand, obviously, because the way the stomach works is it will shrink down to conserve energy. Now, eating is if not the number one, equal to the number one energy consuming function a human body can go through. Now, think about this. Whenever you have a big munch, what do you do after? Oh, food coma. You go into that state where your body just goes, right, you greedy git, you're not going to move now. I'm going to shut you down. You're going to need to lay down, because I now need to break up a lot of the stuff that you're eating, which is really difficult for the body to break up anyway, like sugar, which is pretty much impossible for the body to break down, and feeds and causes cancer, by the way. Okay, so your body will shut you down so it can conserve energy to focus on trying to break down what you've just shoved in your mouth. Now, when it comes to fasting, this particular fast is a 10-day fast. The first 3 days is just water. Now, you've got to think of your digestive system. You've got miles and miles of small and large intestines. Now, if you think of any piping system, and sorry to sound disgustingly crude, but if you think of the sewage system, which is not a massive difference in the UK, it goes on for miles and miles and miles. How does it get cleaned? The only way they can clean it is by flushing it through with water. So it's the same with the human intestine, the digestive tract, or the system. You need to flush it through with no food at all going in to give your body a chance to literally churn out stuff that's been stuck in your system for months. Things like meat can stick around for absolute months. It gets stuck like any other piping system. Things can get clogged up and get stuck. So the first 3 days of this fast, what happens is you just drink water, and once you've hit that 3-day mark,
Sorry, James. How many days? Go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
I'm going to keep an eye. I'm going to have to watch back the recording of your eyes when we go. So it's a 10-day fast, and it's the first 3 days is a purge of water. Okay, and what will happen is within your system there'll be a massive change, because your stomach over the first couple of days is literally going to be on sort of like, what's going on here? Like, it's going to be waiting. You know, you're normally feeding me at this point. In fact, when's it coming? When's it coming? It's on alert. But then all of a sudden it realizes, oh, okay, I'm not going to have to break down. I don't need to be on standby. You're not putting nothing inside. So your stomach, all that energy that normally would have been in there, basically ready to break down the food that you're overeating on anyway, it starts dispersing. And what your body is is far cleverer than any piece of machinery out there. Your body knows down to a cellular level how to take care of itself. Your body works on something called homeostasis, which just means balance, imbalances and balances. Now, when we're overeating like we are, what happens is because of all that energy goes into breaking down the food, naturally, areas of your body that could really do with the energetic attention, they don't get it in layman's. So everything is concentrated on breaking down the food and not actually taking care and trying to run your system to its optimal efficiency. So after that 3-day period, there is a massive inner shift. Your blood flow changes, your oxygen consumption changes, your digestive system changes. Yes, there'll be lots of noise and gurgles and everything else going on because it will start kicking into gear and doing what it really wants to do, which is clean you out and actually concentrate on areas where you really need it. And your stomach's incredibly clever. Most of us don't realize our gut's got a brain. There's more messages go from our gut to our brain than our brain to our gut. Our gut is responsible for our overall health. It's massive. And I don't want to get caught too much up in this, but to summarize, when you fast, when you stop eating, in layman's, your body goes into a state of repair. It's not a maybe, it's a fact. Now, after them first 3 days of the purge, what we then switch to is 7 days of veg-dominant juices, not smoothies. So there's no pulp and extract. It's just the extracted nutrients. Now, the reason is if you drink vegetable, and obviously we have a bit of fruit in there, loads of, Nick will share as well about the gingers and the lemons and just how zesty we can make these juices. But what happens is you start feeding your body into the bloodstream. So there's no energy needed to break anything down. It's just taking all the medicine from nature, which, let's face it, people, we can think how modern and clever medicine is now. But I can tell you this is a fact. All medicines initially come from nature, plants, vegetation. That is where medicines come from. So when you start then ingesting into this new, and just think, this is just after 3 days. After 3 days, your body switches the way it's working inside to this new, come and get me, super health sort of state. You then start putting in nutrients straight into your system. The body will take through that bloodstream, which is now running at a more viscous state, which just means more fluid-like because it's less congealed, because there's no sugars and all the other craps that would normally be clogging it up. And it circulates your 60,000+ miles of vein system with this wonderful, nutritious, energetic juice, which then starts filling in the blanks of areas that might not have been maintained and looked at for years and years and years. So over the course of this 10-day fast, you physically, like I've just described, have a massive impact on your health. But the most important change, and Nick, I want to pass over to you shortly to explain this, and you'll testify to this, and I always say this to people. Yes, of course, if you're struggling with a bit of weight and some aches and pains, which will often be due to weight that you're carrying with your skeletal system, bear in mind, your skeletal system knows what it should be carrying. So if it's overloaded, yes, that's why you get aches in your back and your knees and other areas that are supporting your weight. When it comes to the mental aspect of fasting, okay, it's a game changer. For those of you that might be suffering from a bit low self-esteem, not feeling worth it, not feeling enough, feeling like you're a bit lost or you haven't achieved anything, or again, I'm looking forward to Nick, you sharing where you was at with this stuff. But my point is, you're just feeling a little bit down in yourself, right? What you'll find, and there's a simple logic behind this, people, is throughout the day you're having 70 to 80,000 thoughts in your egoic mind that are keeping you worried about past things and future things that ain't happened yet, just making sure you're feeling low, depressed, anxious, and all the other stuff. Well, the problem is that's all happening up here, so it's not really anything to worry about. However, you stop eating for 3 days, all of a sudden, all of this noise that's going on up here, you hit gurgle, 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 and you go, fuck worrying about all this bollocks, I'm hungry. And that's actually happening. You do feel fucking hungry. This isn't an easy fast. It's difficult. But what that does, logically, it takes you out of that poncy, egoic, nervy, anxious, and all this other stuff, past, shame, guilt, future not happening yet, but we're going to worry about, into something that is actually happening now. You feeling hungry. And over the course of the fast, what you'll realize is all the stuff that you worry about on a daily basis, you completely forget. And you become so present, yes, initially in your hunger, but then that soon starts to change your perspective in how you think about yourself. Because all of a sudden you get to day 5 and you think, I've not eaten for 5 days. Like, I am hungry, but fuck me, I feel good. I actually feel quite energetic. And to put things in perspective, last thing I want to say before I hand over is, throughout, this is a structured fast. It's not just stopping eating. You've got to exercise 3 times a day. 20 minutes of breath work, 20 minutes of walking, and 20 minutes of resistance training, which is all included in this package. This is a full package. I provide absolutely everything. All you've got to do is show up as your best self and say, do you know what? I'm going to do something over these next 10 days that, I'm not kidding ya, will change your life. And that is not an exaggeration. It will change the most important thing about your life, which is how you think about being yourself. So with that being said, I'd like to hand it over to Nick to maybe, Nick, give a bit about your background, and then sort of going into why you joined the fast, and wherever you go with it.
First off, thanks for inviting me on, both of you, Jay. I mean, obviously, we've had conversations before, and Nicholas, Jay told me about you, and thanks for letting me on board with it.
No problem, mate.
Where do I start? The fast. Right, we'll start off with, so myself, okay, so I'm now like the wrong side of 50, right, 53 this year. London originally, grew up as a kid, massive West Ham fan. All my family were, my dad, my brothers, my uncles, cousins, everyone, right? And it was great, it was really good. And then, things moved on and everything, and I moved out of London, moved up to the Midlands where I am now. And everything sort of dwindled away, sort of thing, you get into like a routine of things, and you know what it's like, Joe. You moved to Spain, didn't you? And what happens, you're growing up, and that camaraderie what you had with your friends and all your family, everything dwindles away, sort of thing. And like I said, I've been up here for 30 years, and I probably wouldn't change it I wouldn't move back to London, that's for sure, but I wouldn't change what I've done, right? Still a big West Ham follower. I think it's once you've been sort of brought up with that, it's always in your blood, isn't it? And, but so the fast. Well, here we go. Just one thing what I will say is it ain't easy, Nick. Right? When you get on to do it, it's not an easy thing to do, and I found that out. I knew nothing about it, to be honest with you, at the start of it. I'd never even heard of, I'd heard of fasting, but I'd never heard of Jay. And it was only through my girlfriend, Nicola. Got a message. I think I was telling you, Jay, earlier on, when I got a message. I was in my workshop. I've just started my own business, and I was in my workshop and machining up some parts and everything. And then I got a message from my girlfriend like, I'm going to do a fast, right? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's brilliant, really, really good. And she'd done them before. I think she's had some stuff with you before, Jay, hadn't she, over the years and that. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? I didn't feel great in myself anyway, right? And like I said, she was going to do this. She told me the reason why she was doing it. And I thought, yeah, that's absolutely brilliant, really, really good. She supported me massively over the last sort of year. And she probably don't even realise that she has done in different things, like losing me mum and everything hit me really bad. And I got to a point where I was, didn't know where I was going in life, sort of thing, you know what I mean? And anyway, well, I went in the best of places, and she said, "Oh, she's going to do this fast for her own health." And I sat there and I thought, you know what? she supported me massively. And I thought, how is she going to be able to fast on her own while I'm sitting there eating? Right? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to support her, and I'm going to do it with her. Like, anyway, I messaged her back. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And she was like, what? What do you mean you're going to do it? You know? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Right? I'm going to do it with you. Of course, she's over the moon. And I thought, what the fuck have I let myself in for? But like I said, anyway, I decided to go ahead and do it. And my intentions when I first went into it were, I thought, you know what, I'm going to lose a bit of weight. Right? That'd be it. I'm just going to lose. I'll lose a bit of weight. It'd be easy, sort of thing, you know. I didn't realise what the benefits of it were going to be until I'd actually got halfway through it. Well, yeah, probably halfway through it, about probably day 5, I think it was. And I'd always been relatively fit before, from my past, what I used to do. So I used to race motorcycles. And I always sort of kept myself, my weight level, and I was trying to keep myself fit, and I had a purpose why I was doing it. And from 2015 onwards, I'd lost all of that, and I had no sort of nothing to do, and I started piling on a bit of weight and everything, and weren't eating properly, and my mind was set on doing certain things. I'd be working away, and I'd work all day with nothing to eat, because that's how I am. I get engrossed in what I'm doing, and then in the evening I'd stuff my face with stuff and think, bloated out and everything. So my eating patterns weren't great. And I thought, like I said to Jay, I'll do this. My intentions were going to be lose a bit of weight, Well, it changed drastically. Absolutely within, 3 or 4 days, my intentions wasn't to lose weight at all. I started feeling the benefits from it after probably 4 or 5 days. And as Jay said earlier on, it went to the point where everything else which was going on around you didn't matter. It was me. I'm going to do this. This is making me feel better. And it did, it really, really did. But believe me, it was hard. I thought first day, drinking water, it's good, piece of piss, easy. Then the evening, it's all right. This is on the first day. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. Second day, I got up, was like, water again, And the evening come, and I was thinking, I ain't eating anything for 2 days. What's going on? I hadn't done this since I'd raced at the Isle of Man. I hadn't eaten, And then I thought, I've managed to get 2 days into here, and then the third day it got quite difficult, But then we had was it the third day, Jay, when we had the turmeric tea? No, the second. No, was it the third day?
Day 2.
Day 2, yeah. We had the turmeric tea, and I thought, once I'd had that, after just water and no food, it was like bang. It was like actually, bit of energy. And then we started, going into the fast, and each day was going on and on. It was up and down, and I think what me and Jay was talking about before earlier on today was the support is massively important, and I found that for me and Nicola, my partner who was doing the fast, it was probably easier for us because we had each other to support each other actually in the moment. But then, there was a WhatsApp group where the people in the group were all asking questions and, telling each other how they were, how they felt, what was happening, and now, basically, I'm feeling like this today, and everyone was jumping on and, giving everybody support, which was really, really good. And then, like I said, we went into more and more into the fast, and it got to the point where one day, you'd wake up and you think, I'm not hungry at all. You know, I'll have my turmeric tea and I'll have me juice. And you think, yeah, you're great. And then the following day, you'd wake up and you're like hitting a brick wall. And you think, oh my God, you know what I mean? But by the fifth day, I could physically feel a change in me and how I was. Energy-wise, although, you know, we hadn't eaten at that point. I hadn't eaten for 5 days. But my energy level had jumped up through the roof. And the strenuous workouts, the breathing activities, the walking and the strenuous workouts, the first 3 days were really, really difficult for me. You know, and I was like, I hadn't lifted up a kettlebell or a dumbbell for you know, 7 years. You know, and but it, you know, physically got easier and easier as you went along. And you felt, I actually felt better, you know, in myself. I looked better. My skin felt better. My skin looked better, right? And I just seemed to be more alert with it. And then it sort of started hitting home, thinking, actually, what Jay had said about it in the beginning was actually true. You know, you go through all of this, and by sort of day 4 or 5 for me, well, day 5 for me, I noticed a massive change in myself. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, there was days where I was hungry, and there was days where I was thinking, why the hell am I doing this to myself? But every day, at the end of the day, I could sit there and I could actually feel the benefits from it and think, yeah, that's another day out, right? And believe me, the first 5 days are really, really hard. They drag out like mad. They really do. The last 5 days literally probably flew by, absolutely flew by. And you're thinking, once you get past that halfway mark, that countdown to the end of it, to the last day, and then like day 11, when you break the fast, just flew by. And by the end of it, I'd lost a stone. Right? Seriously, I'd lost a stone in 10 days. And it was massive. So, yeah, I'd achieved me goal. What I originally wanted to do was to lose a bit of weight. But the biggest benefit for me was how I felt. I'd never felt, in my life, I'd never felt that good. I really hadn't done, you know. So I was full of energy, felt really good, physically felt good, mentally felt absolutely phenomenal. The change, what it does to you mentally, is far outweighs any other benefit in my eyes anyway. Because for me, like I said, I'd sort of struggled since sort of 2015 onwards, and since losing my mum, I'd struggled massively. But it really cleared my head, really, really did. And, you know, it made me sort of focus more on myself, and everything else that goes on around you don't really matter at the end of the day. And it's massive, you know, it's really, really good, you know, really, really good. And then, of course, I've signed up for the second one. You know, so I'm punishing myself yet again.
You're a glutton for punishment, or not a glutton, as the wrong word.
Well, no, you're right. You're right in what you're saying, yeah. But if I can feel half as good after the second one as what I did on the first one, at the end of the first one, then I'll be doing it 4 times a year. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, 2 seconds. This happens on every video that I do. I've got to kick these dogs out. They're driving me mad. Right, give me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
I can see your eyes dying.
Mate, I've had myself on mute for 15 minutes because they've been causing mayhem.
Brilliant, Nick. By the way, I'm so grateful for this. Like this one, like I said, the impact. This, even if this gets one person to sign up, mate, this is worth it in itself. So anyway, I won't let you go back to Nicholas.
Right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's an amazing story, though, Nick. Honestly, it's very inspiring, and also especially the part where you talk about the you did it for weight loss, but it helped you in so many other ways as well. To be quite honest, because as I found myself, not to get too soppy, we started this support network for I lost my parents. I lost both my parents a long time ago now.
Right.
And as you kind of bury it deep, but you carry on, you crack on through life, and you kind of don't give yourself time to process anything. Started doing a support network. You kind of start listening to other people's problems, and it opens things up. So I've found in probably the last 4 weeks, I've started facing up to things that that I've had buried deep for an awful long time. And it's do you know what? It was very difficult, very, very testing at first, but I've come out the other end. I feel a lot better now. But yeah, doing something like this just feels like a natural progression for me now. I don't feel good about myself. I'm overweight. I'm a good-looking geezer normally when I ain't got the weight on me, but I'm a big chubster. It's a waste. It's a waste, you know.
You're a strong 8.5, Nick. A strong 8.5.
But yeah, so it's, I think it's about time, really. You know, about time I did something for me. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'm worried by it, but I am determined. I will do it and I will see it through. But I am going to be, I might not do any shows that week because if I'm angry now, God knows what I'm going to be like then.
Oh, mate, your rants will go to a next level.
I know.
The thing what shocked me more about it is that all the people who was in the last fast, not one of them dropped out. Not one.
That's brilliant.
Some of them was really struggling. I think some of them were far worse.
It's understandable though, because you can imagine day 2. I can imagine being the big one. I would think anyone could motivate themselves to do one day, but day 2 must be the real ultimate test. To a degree.
Yeah.
And then I can imagine if you can get through day 2, then you've got some sort of sense of achievement because you haven't kind of But 10 days is a long time to not eat. It's a long time.
It is. It is a long time, but believe me, when you get past that halfway mark, it literally just rolls on really, really quick. And it's funny actually because on day 11 when we'd finished it, and day 11 was our sort of feast day sort of thing.
Yeah.
We'd had a fridge the night before. At the end of day 10, we stocked the fridge up with loads of food and stuff like that, and thinking, it's going to be great. Day 11, we opened the fucking fridge, and it was like, you know what? I don't actually fancy anything. More.
Is it changed the way? Is it changed the way you look at food now? Change the way that you look at? Yeah.
Definitely has done. Yeah. Without a doubt. It really has, because like I said, I mean, my eating habits weren't great anyway, and what I was doing was I was spending all day focusing on what I was doing as a daily job.
Yeah.
And solely focused on that. And I'd go all day without eating just to get work finished. And, that's what I'm like. I'm stupid, really, and how I am with work, what I do. And, so food to me was a case of, I need food, I'll eat, sort of thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and it, it's like, I mean, I've always tried to eat relatively healthy, but sometimes when you've spent 12 hours machining stuff up and that, you think, I'll just eat a sandwich, or I'll eat, half a loaf of bread or something like that. But it definitely changed the way that I look at food. And
can I just jump in as well with that, Nick? What you'll find, Nicholas, is I mentioned this to you earlier when we spoke. We eat unconsciously most of the time, and most of us do it. It's just, it's breakfast, I'll eat. Oh, it's this, I'll eat. Then, I'll have a pack of Monster Munch. And a lot of us eat for mood. Oh, this is how I feel, so this is what I'll eat. Yeah. What you'll find very quickly in this fast is and one thing you'll find yourself doing is you'll go to the fridge and you'll open it up and you go, oh, fuck. And you close it again because you'll remember, shit, I'm not eating, sort of thing. And then,
that's literally what I've never walked past the fridge in my life, ever. Honestly, everyone's go around anyone's house, whether it was my mum's, my sisters, my brothers, whoever I go around, first thing I do is go in their fridge. I'm on a seafood diet, seafood and eat it.
but genuinely, as funny as that is, that's a lot of people. And it's different than the judgment. It's not about judgment. Nothing to do with that. It's to do with your health. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Well, look, I said to you, sorry to cut you off. I'm at a crossroads myself. I'm fine. I haven't got any health issues yet. However, there are health issues that run in my family. I'm fully aware. If I carry on, it's going to be a case that the doctor is going to tell me that I've got to I don't want to get to that stage. So I'm probably not too far away. You know, they'll end up. There'll be something. You know, we've got diabetes in the family and stuff like that. So, as it stands at the moment, I'm fine, but I don't think I'll get away with it for too much longer. If I'm honest, not looking after myself.
It will definitely change.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it will definitely change the way you look at food.
Yeah.
And you'll be more sort of conscious as to what you eat, when you eat. It definitely has done for me, without a doubt. You know. And it will do for yourself. I'll guarantee you that. When you go through, when you finish this fast, because you will finish, it'll be difficult, but you will finish it. You know, you will do it. And then you'll realise then the end of it, and your mindset on food will change, and the mental change in yourself is the biggest thing, and obviously that then allows you to sort of change the way you look at food.
Yeah, and it does. Scientifically, it does all make sense as well. So going back to your intro at the start, Jay, it does make perfect sense what you're saying. It does. It's just that I can just imagine the games that your mind is going to play on you throughout that process.
Absolutely, mate.
You know?
Absolutely. And to give an example of so one of the things I always say to people at the beginning, and I've never asked you this, Nick, but I know with a few people that have fed back to me, they've always thought, well, what was the point of that? And then they get to the end, they go, oh, I see the point. Is I always say to people, set an intention at the beginning, something that might be on your mind for a long time, something that you've been holding on to, something that you've always told yourself, oh, I'm never going to do this. I said, write it down, set that intention, because what you'll find as the fast goes on, all the clutter and all the reasons what tell you why you can't achieve, it starts dwindling, it starts dissipating, and you start realizing. I'll give you an example. Shout out to a lovely lady called Judith. She did this fast. She's I believe, in her mid-50s. Yes, she wanted to lose a bit of weight, but she lives out here in Spain. She'd been trying to sell her house out here for 2 years. And her intention was, and she said it off the cuff, a little bit sarcastically at the beginning, oh, do you know what? My intention is to sell my house. And she never for a second thought she would do it. But the reason is, and this is the important part for the mental side of things, and this is what I want people to take from this about you can achieve what you put your mind to. What happened over the course of those 10 days, and she struggled. She really struggled. Her testimony is on my website, by the way. She started realizing that all the obstacles of why she couldn't sell her house, it was all her. It was no one else. It was all her. And come the end of the fast, within 2 weeks, she sold her fucking house.
Bloody hell.
And she was like, and it just makes you think, like, and I'm not saying, oh, the fast is going to win you £1 million.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just, that's one example of the power of you and your resilience when you actually step up and say, do you know what, I'm going to do this for me. Like you say, Nick, like it is for, you're not going to fast, Nicholas, you're not going to fast for your kids. You're not going to fast for the West Ham fans. You're going to do it for you. And
well,
it's going to be...
It will be the closest thing to a personal achievement that I will have done for a long time, if I can see it through, and I will see it through.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say, maybe, I might be putting it on you, Nicholas, but maybe do a daily log.
I'm going to document it. I'm going to
document it. Log, not a daily log.
I'm going to document it. Yes. I will. I'll do it on my phone. So, and I'll be honest. If I feel like shit and I've got the hump, I'll be honest. I'll find out. I'll say today is really hard. I'll just. I will. I'll be honest and open, and then why not? You know.
The thing is, mate, you have genuinely, as I was saying to you, Nick, I've said about you many times. You know what you've done with the support group, which this in essence again is all because of you opening up what you did with the support group. Is you've got an influence, a real strong influence. You've got massive. I said to you, you was my therapy. I might do what I'm doing, but I'd turn on to see you do a rant. Well, get rid of everything that I've been holding up to.
As my blood pressure goes up, everyone else's comes down. That's what I get told. Yeah.
So the almighty boost to your rants are going to be, as I said, no, all jokes. I can't. I hope David Moyes does some sort of almighty cock up over them 10 days. It's going to be gold. It's going to be fucking gold. But no, seriously, the influence you have, and there's people in our support community that I really hope you join us. And Nick, Nick is, you're at the hem of, you're the hub of this, and knowing that you're doing it, that will inspire others to do it. So that blog and everything else, it's going to be really powerful, Nick. Honestly, it's going to be super
the more the merrier. Because we can all go for it together. Absolutely, that's the
Nick,
thing.
I was just going to say, Nick, thanks so much, Nick, for coming on and giving your talk. Because again, just as with Nicolas, people will resonate. You're a West Ham fan, that side of 50. There's a lot of people in our group that are very similar to yourself. And with some amazing stories of loss and stuff like that as well. And like you said, this has helped. And anything that can help yourself, that's real achievement, isn't it? Because you do it yourself, not it's not someone else does it for you. You do it for yourself,
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Brilliant. And I hadn't managed to do something for myself since 2014, 2015. You know what I mean? So
it's a lovely thing, to be quite honest. It really is. And look at you, you're coming back for a second go.
Yeah, glutton for punishment.
Coming back for a second go. So,
to be honest with you, I'm actually looking forward to it, and that's genuinely. I think in one side of me is thinking, I'm going to starve myself for 10 days again, but I'm actually really looking forward to doing it because, like I said, if I feel half as good as what I did at the end of this one, what I did in the last one.
Well, if you felt the health benefits that you felt, then it stands to reason that you've got to look at this as almost like a routine maintenance of the body to a degree.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat my body a couple of times a year.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. If somebody had come to me a year ago and told me to do that, I would have told them to, off you go. There's a door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually realising and feeling reaping the benefits from it, it's well worth it. That's what I said. That's why I've decided to do it again. And Nicola, my partner, doing it again. So, it's a no-brainer for me. Absolute no-brainer.
Oh, brilliant.
Really good.
Thanks, Nicolas, for letting us on as well to do this.
No worries, mate. That's good. And like I say, if you do want to access this fast and you do want to join us, come and join the membership platform. You'll find a link in the description. And what offer are you doing, Jay? Is it 50% off on it? For
50% off. So normally, I already dropped the price from it. They're normally 150 quid for the 10 days because it is a full package.
Yeah.
However, I dropped
with full support as you go through it and everything else. Yeah.
Coaching, exercise plan. It's. But anyway, point being, I dropped it this year to £100 anyway, and so for Carrot and Booze members. It's 50 quid, which I'm not dismissing. It's 50 quid.
Yeah.
However, I promise you, do you know what? If you complete this and you don't feel it was the best 50 quid you've spent, you can have it back. I swear to you, you can have it back. If you don't feel that was worth that day 11, just to share, because I'd done it 5 times last year. The first time I'd done it on my own to test the course, and then I run 4 communities. Day 11, when everyone jumps on Zoom, it's the faces. Everyone's everyone's faces has lost weight, but it's the glowing and and it's just it's wonderful. The sense of achievement. It's a very diverse bunch of people, men, women, not all West Ham fans. You just got all different people, but it's how you feel in yourself, and that's why for me, people in this support group, this is for you. If you can muster that 50 quid up and put this in for this, I promise you'll come out the other end and you'll go, do you know what? I can fucking take on the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you really, really will.
I can just imagine that day 11 on that Zoom call. Everyone's pictures was in like McDonald's, Burger King, this, that, the other.
Domino's pizza.
We've done it. We've done it. I'm eating. That's what. What was that feeling like? Was it like, you know, the I'm a celebrity, I've left the jungle, now I'm going to go and stuff my face, or once you'd finished the course, did you enjoy your first meal?
No, not really. Well, I'll say no. Yeah, obviously I did.
Yeah.
But, not to the point where I was thinking, oh, great, you know, I'm going to be able to eat all of this stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm really going to enjoy it. It wasn't like that. It was it's quite hard to describe, really. But it was a case of, yeah, I did enjoy it, but not to the level what I thought I was gonna, or what my mind was telling me it was gonna be.
So would you be quite
Sorry,
would you be quite disappointed, Jay, if on day 11 you saw me there with a big family bucket of KFC when I was
I was actually thinking. I was thinking of Luigi, Nick, that done the walk and ended up in Domino's. Shout out to Luigi.
Brilliant.
Just one thing I wouldn't mind touching on is we've had discussions about this, me and Jay, about the breath work, right? And put it like this: to me, it's worth every penny just for the breath work,
Yeah.
right? Because believe me, mate, it's a fucking eye opener.
Well, we've been doing that as well. So obviously, because Jay's been running his weekly sessions, which are obviously free on the show for people in the support group. And that was eye opening to say the fucking least. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
Honestly, that first one when I'd done it, because when I first went in it, like, I've never done anything like that before. I was very skeptical. I thought, oh, what's that? Because I would never ever do anything like that ever. But I thought, I'm going to do it. So I'm sat there in my room. I put my camera off, and I started doing the breathing exercises. Mate, it was so weird. You get this weird fucking, like, this sort of rush of euphoria to your head. Your head goes cold. Your hands go cold as well. Because, like you said, what it is, you're setting your blood rushing around your body as if you was going out for a run, but you're not moving. So it's such a weird feeling. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, really.
The first time Nick did it, because obviously, as you know, Nicholas, I always say to people, go off camera, turn your mic off, so you're not conscious of people seeing you or hearing you. So when it finished, it was all quiet, and all I heard was Nick go, "Fucking hell, Jay, that was like a trip."
It was. It was a natural high. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It put me in a completely different zone.
Nice.
Completely different zone. It was like, fucking hell. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And you know something? It is it's just genuinely helping people as well. Like those that need it in the group. Those sessions. I mean, that last one. Oh.
Shout out to Scott. Yeah, shout out to Scott. That last one was amazing.
Powerful, wasn't it? But
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And do you know what I would say as well? For those that are really struggling financially, I'd be willing to chip in a bit as well to help out, all right? What I would say, though, the investment's important, and that's not me money grabbing in any way at all. It is. Nick, you'll understand what I mean by that. You feel that because again, you're paying for something for you, just for you. Think of what you spend money on that does you no good in any way whatsoever. How nice will it feel to spend a bit of money on yourself and come the end and think, fucking hell, that was the best, whatever. 50 quid,
that's a £5 a day. That's a £5 a day, 50 quid. Yeah, no, that's it. And you're getting full support with that. That's unbelievably reasonable. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's the investment in yourself doing something like that. So I'm not going to talk too much more about it because I ain't done it yet. I ain't completed it. So I want to make sure I get it done first, and I'm a complete failure. And I'll come back on and show off afterwards. But I'm nervous. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I thought I better mention it starts on the 1st of May, people, by the way.
Yeah.
So it kicks off on the 1st of May. If you join, in fact, Nick, we need to sort yours out. You get a full package email, and it's proper. Like, it comes through, it's like a complete professionally set up course. It gives you all the instructions, all the timings, all the links, all the exercise videos, including one from me taking you through a sit down workout as well, because obviously your energy levels can diminish at times.
Yeah.
So you do get, from start to finish, you know what you're doing. All you've got to do is turn up and keep your fucking mouth shut for 10 days.
Oh,
Brilliant.
good stuff. Right, okay.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, James. Right, we'll knock that one off. Right,
Yeah.
there we go.